23:10. 23:10. We're a minute early. Never mind. How we doing, Kev? You want to say hello?
Good evening, everybody. Hope you're all right. Nice to see you nice and all that malarkey. All good here. Just had a little run out with Dave in the private for the scribes over there, which was emotional. And yeah,
Yeah, it was fun.
it's all good. Hope you're all right. Much love to you all. Mensa, how you doing, mate? Hope you're well. That's what I've got in room at the moment. Right, go out of the room, press that one, like it, go back in the room. Still Mensa.
It is. It is called Hello, Good Evening, Mensa. What go on? The title there, Life is a Game. Start to play to win. Bonus levels and cheats. That's what we're on with here. Yeah, some bonus levels and cheats. Flies just dropped in. Aye. So it's a pretty open, random one tonight. No particular focus or barrage of information. I have got some tweet that I'd like to read out, which is quite comical, to add some humour later on. Yeah, I don't know. We'll just see where we end up. What go on? Who's about?
Yeah, nothing specific. Got a couple of things to mention, which I think are worth a re-mention for this evening. A couple of things we were talking about over on the private cast half an hour ago.
Yeah.
I was talking to Dave earlier about the. I don't know if you've really seen the video of Matt Hancock getting questioned about the PPE that they ordered and it being delivered. What had been delivered, and obviously he's sitting there sort of squirming and said he didn't have the answer, but they're, sort of, oh yes, and fluff, bluster, blah, blah, bollocks, type stuff. Get round the question anyway. So she went. Don't quote me on this, everybody, but I think there's 3 contracts being mentioned. One was for something like 250 million. One was for about 25, 28. One was for 18. So she points it out. She said, what's been? Oh, I haven't got those figures, but quite a lot has been delivered. So she said, just wanted to bring to your attention this Avantis. I think the company got an 18 million contract. Avantis, we've had a look at them, Companies House, and up until when they put the last year's books in, they've got assets of 300 quid. That's all they're showing. So how they've suddenly been given an 18 million contract, and then she goes back to the middle firm. I can't remember what their name is, but it's the one that got about a 20 odd million contract. She said, we've had a look at these people, and they're actually recorded as dormant. It's just at a 25 mil or whatever it was contract given to them. So yes, very interesting. So that's what's happening, people. They're robbing us. That's our money. They're taking that, and it's basically going to their mates. That's what's happening there. To firms that aren't even doing anything. That tells you everything. What a firm with assets of 300. Oh, right. I tell you what. Let's go and have a look how well this firm's been performing. Oh, look, they've got assets of 300, done fuck all for the last 4 years. Yeah, first choice. Let's give them an 18 million contract. Come on, they're stealing from us. Wouldn't be any different if Labour or any other party was in. Let me tell you that now. It would be no different.
Good spy, that one. A good spy, yeah. It looks like there's foul play afoot, is what we say there, don't we? The foul play.
Yes, of the foulest kind.
A foul in the game of life.
It smells foul too.
This is what we call a cheat mode, when you get the up, down, left, right, start and A. Back on the Mega Drive for Shinobi, I believe it's when his eyes looked at you in the centre to get unlimited Shinobis, and I don't know if there is, I'm showing the demographic age here, but Mega Drive Shinobi was a classic of its time. I don't care how young or modern you are now with your 5G 50, 70-inch curve, you know, screen, Bluetooth, headset, FPV.
Bluetooth underpants.
Let man tell you, 2 buttons and a D-pad. That's all there was. There was 2 buttons, an A and a B, and a D-pad. And that
With
kept,
some instructions for them.
that was that was a week for the instructions, yes. And after that, I was away to go. Shinobi looked at your cheat mode, and you put in up, down, left, right, A and B or something, and you got this.
Yeah.
This is what they're doing. They're using cheat modes on us, the language, the finance, the banking. They think we don't see and don't know, but we're not financially qualified by any means in chartered, accountants, but we have got eyes and ears, and we can use our fingers and count, unlike the government, and we don't need an abacus or fingers sometimes if we're lucky. So we'll do our bit by just saying that there's been calls for a public inquiry. I believe the Prime Minister Boris has said that that won't be happening into the government handling of COVID, Corona, whatever, COVID-19. The public inquiry has been denied. It has. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
The public inquiry, no. The public can't have one. Even though the public are allegedly who control us. No, we're not having it. Fucking hell. Come on.
They did launch a Fix Your Bike voucher website that apparently broke in less than an hour. Hilarious, yeah, not funny but true. The government said we should all start to lose weight, and then they issued vouchers to help us buy burgers.
Yeah. Yeah, don't go near anybody, but go out to the restaurant, use these vouchers as quick as you can, please. But don't go out.
It was revealed that the government spent 400 million buying a bankrupt satellite company called OneWeb.
We bought that company.
And that was to replace the Euro global positioning system we lose due to Brexit. 6 months before, a study by MIT found that OneWeb's tech is 6 times less efficient than the EU solution. The worst of the technologies.
Perfect for England.
We've got the worst of the technologies studied, allegedly, but there you go, we'll dig. In June, the government merged the debt for international development into the Foreign Office and said the move guaranteed there would be no cuts in international aid. This week, the government cut international aid by 2.9 billion. The government quietly granted permission for your health records to be given to, remember I said on that video, what was it now, Porton Down, Biopharma, Matt Hancock, concerns there. And I mentioned Amazon was in the mix there. I believe that video is still up because it's not full of any, lies and half-truths. It's as factual as I could get it. Palantir, Palantir, a controversial data mining company said to have worked with Cambridge Analytica on Brexit. Oh, really? I'm reading a tweet, by the way, that's from Twitter, obviously, because that's where they tweet, but there's somebody, Sam, let me see who the author of this, Sam Dines. I posted it on the community pages and the .com and Facebook, so I'll stop there. We could go on, and there's it's farcical, is what it is. They do one thing, and then they say another. It's
joke.
Reminds me of being a little boy when my mum I used to get the shoe, not because she was violent, but because we were naughty little, urchins, and we were almost feral if she didn't have the shoe of justice, we'll say. And she used to say to me when she was teaching me the ways, as mums do, when there's 4 children, single parent, if she don't teach you the way, can you imagine what that house would have been like? So she had it hard, and she was a very loving and good mum, but back in the day it wasn't a crime to bring your son in line. and I once used to say, when she was giving the discipline, we'll say, schools, academies used to give us the ruler at that time, so that's where we're at. All right, the institutions were leathering us at the same time. 86 I'll go to, 87ish, I think 88 it was gone, but my mum, I used to laugh at her. This is the weird thing, she'd be telling me off, and I'd sometimes be able to laugh through the pain, and I'd say, yeah, she used to go mad.
Up even more.
I'm such an idiot, because it'd get worse for that, for being so blasé, and hilarious. But I used to say, well, you do it, and she'd say, "Do as I say, not as I do." And if I was to dedicate at this moment, this segue, then unlike the other, I'll do a good one, Kevin. I'll interject. I'm going to dedicate to Boris and to Donald and to the IMF and to all of the banks and the corporations that we've known it. When we get the word corpse, remember it's Francais and it's to do with mort and mortality, mort gauge. The Francais is mixed in with the Latin and the Babylon, etc. The etymological links and references. Corpse, corporation, corpus juris, etc. We get from the Francais side, Anglo-Saxon, French, French itself. I know. And foreigner, is it? You're as cold as ice, and you're willing to sacrifice our love because we haven't got a foreign treaty to deal with them. And corporations, foreign entities, foreign languages, foreign to man on the land, sea boat people's trickery. Foreigner, cold as ice. I dedicate to to all of them out there. From us to you. I'll yield, Kev. I'll breathe and.
That's unlikely. Anyway, yes. Queen. So, Fly, how you doing? Yes, I fly. Queen, hello, mate. Adius. Go mad. That's where we're at. Good evening.
Can I just say that I have shared a post from Mark Anthony Steele, and it goes something like this. Thank you for the introductions, brother.
Well, not Cleopatra's other half, then.
Mark Anthony Steele, there, that's it. That's how it rolls off on his account, so, and how he's introduced himself to I. And these aren't my words, so I just like to publicly get that out. I didn't say that at the time. I wanted to see the reaction to the comment. There is a reason why chemotherapy patients lose their hair, everyone, and that's because of radiation poisoning, and it stops your cells from singing. If you have watched Superhuman, the documentary, we need to speak about that next, or shortly. Every microwave radiation poisoning side effect seems to be being added slowly, one by one, as another new symptom of COVID-19. There is allegedly right now, you can find out there, man that says they've had COVID or corona around the realm, not just in one continent, and then afterwards their hair is falling out. And this isn't just one freak incident. There's quite a few claims. They are claims at the minute. I don't have proof. And so I'll go forward. Just hold that thought, pinch it. So that the majority believe that possibly the hair falling out, is not to do with anything other than a simple, infection that's causing these symptoms. Not actually, there's so many reasons why hair follicles will die, give up and fall out, and there is, there's a certain systemic textbook peer-reviewed results on this. We've got Rooney and the controversy of the hair transplant. They've looked at this extensively for men that go bald and their vanity, to be fair, but what they found out is a lot about there's a lot known about this area. So the ones who have the clarity to realise that China did have a 5G rollout sometime before Crimbo, and there was in the news regarding human rights and the technology and the fact they can't go and do certain things because they get blacklisted. They get a checkmate, X in fact, next to their name if they speak out against the government on public social media, if they pay accounts late, if they many things really. Their data self gets whiplash. Remember James Whale, Miss Whiplash? Back in the day, they're talking like that, so then they get restricted on the rights of access. So China, we Hong Kong, Beijing, the Asian, we have watched, and after the rollout of the tech and the abhorrent ignorance of human rights, which it's there to be proven, they got sick very quick. After they flipped the button, we have reports of buttons being turned on and birds dropping and dying, bees losing their navigation, and so. There is ones out there that do have the clarity to realise. There's even a tree. There's even a tree that's half dead. And the half that's dead, guess what's on that side? A little transistor type amplifier radio thing on a lamppost, so they use that half dead tree. And I don't think it was, made up. I honestly see that as a half dead tree. So There's something sinister going on. 2,000 scientists objecting to it also, remember. You're most likely aware that when 5G technology, a known immune system suppressor, is deployed, I'd like to say a known immune system depressor, because that's how I've heard that said by Mark many a time, without safety testing or insurance for health and safety, then perhaps it's really no surprise we see at this time a very lot of sick people. And I read that and I thought, do you know what? It's very controversial. I'm going to get in trouble, but I actually agree with it and I can't pull it apart and I can't argue with it. So for that reason, I
It's common
yield.
sense, isn't it?
I yield. Yeah, go on, off you go. Pull that apart if you want.
It really is common sense. Hang on a minute. We need some better answers here, because most of the stuff that's out here and reliable says it ain't safe at all. So what the fuck?
But Boris says no. Boris is not doing
Why
the
will
public.
nobody insure? Why will nobody? That's telling you something. If they won't insure it, what's that telling you?
Boris
They know.
won't have a public inquiry. Then I did a post on the back of this, but not related to it, and nothing to do with Mark Anthony Steele, but it was to do with a patent of 2007 of a strand of COVID and certain things about the beginning of all of this and the November test run in America that was called Event whatever, remember? And it's just very, very uncanny what be going on here. Governments are here to help us and do as we request. They have directions, but it seems that they are now no longer helping man. And in every area of government interaction, realm-wide, man is being sanctioned, slaughtered, attacked, illegally threatened, ordered, possessions. We've even, I've got to be careful here, but I can say this. A judge has said to somebody that I am, the trust is assisting, myself and Kev, they've said upon this case being heard, what do you mean you've been held in remand? I'm not aware you've been held in remand. To which somebody's very, very, very annoyed here, because this is the judicial system run by the officers and the Crown Courts, and they've been held as a vulnerable in a locked up under their duress for a civil issue, and they've been held on remand. They've come to see the robe and do the business, and the robe says, "Well, you've been what? Oh, okay, that's unusual." So it is everywhere. A vulnerable member of our fam, as you know, and this happens a lot. It's not just there. We've had a man called Benon held up for civil issues and incarcerated against his will. Administrative functionality of the Met and the rank and file, instead of looking at real crimes, not administrating for the Crown in many other ways, you know, but that's simply as it's put there. So I did share a controversial post reference. I'll get it up in a bit, but I'll yield again, Kev.
Oh, right, the wrong moment.
All right.
Balancing act. Doing yoga again, sorry.
All right, no, that's all good.
That's all right. That was all right, was it, mate?
If there's any questions or comments or anything you've
I'm
seen,
just having a look. I'm right at the end of the room at the moment. It's just... The satellite systems have G names. Quinn, just one.
I am rather
Last.
charged about some information I've been given recently. I've stumbled across something. It come from Shadow Dynamics indirectly, but syncretism at the minute is very strong, and I've got a lot of we've got a lot of new information to share regarding etymological roots, history, courts, churches, universe, clocks, zodiacs. It's just been given to me earlier today, and I'm very excited, is all I'll say. I am. It's really amazing. Trust me, and you can all find a part of it that you love, if not, you know, most of it.
I'm just scrolling back through the room to see.
Kate Lucas. Search Kate Lucas. She's done a couple of amazing songs. One's called The Comment Section.
Yes.
Yes.
Please do.
Yes.
Please do, people. Brilliant.
And there's another one I'll share with you shortly about that. So Kev did share a nice Nicola Sturgeon and Chewbacca picture. If anyone happens to see that, that was just genius. Whoever's done that, thank you. Thank you, Kev.
I'm here to entertain. I couldn't resist it. Dave did, as you may have seen, Dave did a post on, covered a bit of the SNP, and then that was just gifted to me, and I couldn't resist. I thought, yeah, it's got to go in.
I did share a nice David Cramp diminutive. I don't like sharing this, and I don't like speaking about it, but the rescue boat, which is a davit. You know, we talk about affidavits and affidavits, and we mentioned about case law and what an affidavit in legal land or even in law would serve a purpose of, and why it's one of the highest instruments. So you've got the breakdown of it being a DAVIT. I don't know, it's not the Welsh way of saying David, but a davit is a rescue boat, which is the microcosm, conditionally an example in this world for the rescue boat of the moon that each of us is born into this reality from. The word davit is cognate with David, being derived from the Middle English dav-iot, D-A-V-I-O-T, and the Middle French daviette, for joiner's cramp, a diminutive of David Cramp.
Yeah, we know what sort of cramp. That's what I was going to comment earlier. Decided to behave myself.
Ahura Mazda. Ah, thank you, Ahura Mazda, not Ahura Master. Sorry, yeah, let's go to the room. Sorry. I'm wandering.
Teach you useful stuff at school? Yeah, alright. Can you read? Can you add up? Job done. Thank you. Rest of it, they don't teach you nothing.
Can we have a vote on, I don't know how many's in the room, I'm still on comments in another place, but can we have a vote? Would you prefer to get rid of Boris and put in either, or as a tandem, like we had, who was it now? We had Cameron and Clegg, didn't we? Blue and yellow. Let's go for purple and indigo, stepping in the form of, what would you have a preference, or would you like them both to support each other? Ricky Gervais and who did I say? Jeremy Clarkson, to sort this shit out. So we emergency hung government and expressly request and appoint Clarkson and Gervais in a moment of madness and emergency, or would you like them to come across to the private with us and help us? You know, like I often think if we had a couple of celebrities that had a bit of, you know, how do I put this, some ovaries on the outside, some big kahunas, Barry Barracuda style, when we say Big Barry. Big Barry Barracuda style. Gervais and Clarkson have both been outspoken, have both stood up, they're kind of the blood. If we could get some kind of like, you know, edge in to the upper echelon, in the form of indie SPLs, what we do, the technologies, everything, then a celebrity would help. Also, these two, I think, could get us out the brown smelly stuff in about 4 weeks flat.
Fucking hope so. Excuse my French. Forgot where I was for a moment. Thought we're still in the private, every little bit more well behaved here. Although I'm a bit excitable tonight for some reason. Must feel the heat got to me today.
Yeah.
Cooked my brains. Let's go back. What's happening? What's happening?
Yeah, I want to look up on just scrolling through some more. I've done some catching up. I'm all good, Kev. I did post a nice little picture which is being well received. I need to check all of the sources for that from the file, but and thank you for the feedback regarding citizens of the United States is a civilly dead entity operating as a co-trustee and co-beneficiary of the PCT, Public Charitable Trust, the constructive Cest K Trust of US Inc. under the 14th Amendment which upholds the debt. Remember when I said all persons attached to debt via the Constitution? And I did say, if you rewind the videos, I did say it's
Yeah.
either 13 or 14. This is what I was on about. When I read this, I went, oh, so persons are attached to under the 14th Amendment, which upholds the debt of the USA and US Inc. And that's from the Congressional Record of June the 13th, 1967. And I've got a PP 15641-15646. So when I brought up certain things before and I can't always remember, I've now given you something else underneath a massive amount of text previously about the Home Office and renouncing citizenship. It's not the only way, but it might suit some to have a look at and just chew over that fat there. Interesting, eh? Yeah, it needs to be checked out, that congressional reference, but normally the man and the place where these come from are 100% spot on, so I get bored of checking because every time it gets a green tick. There you go. So that's another little backup for something previously mentioned that's very crucial and important when they say poppycock. You get me. Where are we going, Kev? I'm going to join you and see what's going on. See who's in.
I was just about to just respond to Alias just said about going on to Google, type in any 3-digit number followed by new cases and see how many news reports you get blatantly obviously being played. Yeah, that's been going about a while. That little thing, yeah, it doesn't matter what number you put in, the report somewhere, that's how many cases have been reported. Such a load of nonsense. As I say, weren't they implicated in having shares in all these vaccine lots? Google, YouTube, all that, Facebook.
The alphabet companies are always linked to
Yeah,
everything.
so aren't they? Yeah, basically.
The
So hence the extra special attention to telling everybody it's lies because they've got money to lose here. So, nobody's surprised, are they? Nobody's really surprised. Oh, I've got shares of that.
No, brother. It's getting just sickening now a little bit.
Yes, it is.
Not what isn't getting sickening is the good comments about the feedback and that, what we're doing, how we're doing it. There's a lot of praise about and the feedback, what you're giving us, me, the trust is well appreciated. Thank you. Your comments, your shares, and your involvement mean a lot. With the latest one is doing well is the magic words, the Lu cipher, the Lan Lingu, and where we've gone Admiralty Maritime to get you ready for the second level stage. This is all exclusively, through the .com and private through our trust, but these are assets that belong to the trust, but a little teaser trailer for you of where we're going and how we're doing it and why is that there in the feedback. Myself and Kevin regularly now get quite a lot of praise for the ways that we are, the technique, the instruments, the effects, the punctuality. Now it's getting almost professional, so thank you all for the feedback and the praise and the grumbles. They're equally as beneficial to us in the game of life. We are starting to play to win, make no mistake about that, and it may turn out that you're going to have to all put pen to paper and make some decisions. If you haven't watched, I'm going to give to you now the link for Superhuman. Okay, it's been out a while. Told you about it quite, a week ago, and I'd like you to consider watching this as well. Yeah, while we go back through the room and answer questions. It's amazing. It really is. It's one of the best things I've seen in all of my time. I can't say enough good about it. G-Star mentioned it, and I'll give you the link to watch it. It's a 2-hour amazing journey that you'll go on, and if you've seen it, I'd like to know. I really would. Seagull, here we go. Cthulhu, I'm going to post up later the full image for you because when we went on the .com to cast, I used it. It wouldn't let me use the full image, so you need to see it all to actually appreciate it. Yeah, it seems to not be there. I'll check on the phone. 1 minute. I'm doing something wrong. Is there any questions or comments, or are we all good? Is everyone happy?
Yeah, just a little chat girl, bit of satellites or not.
It's a relaxed one tonight. It's not so intense.
Yeah, quiet one.
Yeah.
12 in the room, something like that. That's
Sorry.
VA doing JJ in the house. Have I forgotten anybody? Anybody joined? I don't think so. Apologise if I have.
Found out something nice about contract law, that signature is under UCC and all contract is under UCC whether we like it or not. I need to do further in-depth research, but I promised you I'd start digging into my files and making inroads, and what's come back for 99.9% is the following. Whenever man applies a signature in a public commercial capacity, not in the private, which would be an autograph, then you are using a signature. We know that as legal and various other things about it. It's not just legal, it's contract, but it's not contract because we know what a contract is, but in their realm it's a UCC contract. If you'd like to say yay or nay and whatever on that, then that'd be nice. But I was doing some question and answers the other day with regards to certain aspects of our interaction, Watch history go.
Oh, Jerry, hello. He's appeared since I was running through everybody. Anybody I've missed? How you doing, mate? Good to see you. Well, see your letters and your text anyway.
There is a link. Hello, G-Man. There is a link for one of the best documentaries I've ever seen regarding ESP, and what I've told you there, that's for that Superhuman. It will not be there much longer. It just so happens to have Hungarian subtitles. I don't know the channel or the channel there. It says it's the video repository for his web pages or for their web pages, but it's about making the invisible visible again. And I'll leave it there. I would like you to catch up at some point. You've got 2 hours to spare. Enjoy. You won't regret it. You will not.
Yes.
I've got a strong feeling November is going to be mental, and then we've got October from JJ about mental first before November. Trump being said. Trump's that video. What Trump said, I might be going to be away for a while. That was
Said you might not see me for.
What was
yeah.
that? Was that shared by somebody?
That was that he did an appearance or some sort of speech at a Whirlpool manufacturing plant in the States the other day, because obviously he's getting all the manufacturing back. Trying to. And during that speech, he said towards the end of it, you might not see. It was really weird. I sent it to you, didn't I send you the clip?
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah, that's why I had to hear it with my own show lights.
Yeah, he clearly says, you might not see me, and he goes on about having powerful enemies because of what he's about to do. So whether they've got some intelligence of him, somebody's going to whack him, who knows? But interesting that he should say, you might not see him. I can't remember what he said, for a few days or for some time, something like that, which is a really odd thing for him to say, quite frankly. But yeah, who knows? Maybe all the shit is going down.
We got the politics of the realm at the minute are very unsettled. This is like one of the most important times where the realm, countries, continents, governments could do with seeing eye to eye, being unified, uniformed, dare I say, and pulling together, and they're all at each other's throats. We got Priti Patel saying, whatever about the French and the immigration coming across there, but then somebody pointed out, I think it was the French Prime Minister, saying somebody ought to tell England where the border is between France and England, and I was like, go on then, where's that? Is it in the middle of the ocean? Is it? It's a surprise to me. I'm not sure where it is, and he said it's on the English side. So you got the Home Office kicking off that France are allegedly spending £8 million a year to defend this borderline where the immigrants making across the channel, and we're kicking off. They're not doing a good enough job, and the border is on our side.
We
And
just paid
wow,
that
madness.
Trudeau idiot. That we give him 65 million or something like that to it might have been 650 to help towards them doing their job. Fuck's sake.
Well, someone's had a bright idea now, and they said they're asking the Navy for backup. There'd have been an official request from the Home Office to the Navy to go out. So when you see Navy boats on your coastline now, that's just for the immigrants, all right? That's all they're there for. They're just there to immigration, border control, has today been requested by the Home Office to the Navy, I believe. An official request is what they said has gone in. So boats and.
So you mean they've asked for a price? They've asked them to quote for the operation.
Guarding our own
Private
borders.
business, the Navy.
Regarding the borders, yeah, that's what they were asked to do. So
Oh dear.
if we
That's what's going on.
if we just look at it a minute though, we got the alleged pandemonium going off. We have borders open, undefended. We have exit from the European Union. We have some kind of economic slump and slowdown coming. Border immigration control, finance, all of the most key areas. The monarchy's gone rather quiet. The rumours are rife. The King of Spain and etc. There is certain things that make you actually go, oh, hang on a minute, just hang on. But then other times you go, no. But it's quite a delicate time, and we've got to appreciate we're in a balance here, and no amount of notices and certified birth certificates and etc. will actually save many of us as what we think. We can have a quest to go to somewhere, public to private, but we have to realise that, and I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but if these lot mess it up, it doesn't matter if we're in the public or the private, we're all going to be in the same boat of oh dearie me, you get me. I'll leave it there. If the imports stop, how much food has this island got to live on? Because we pay farmers not to grow food, remember, because we're clever like that. We're really civilised. We use our lands and we keep them open. We buy from abroad. And if we piss everybody off abroad and we can't negotiate deals and things collapse and prices go up, how much food have we got here on this, things like that. Planning measures, emergencies.
But it would solve the alleged obesity problem that Boris has been talking about.
Oh, I do, definitely, yeah. Living on carrots.
So, every cloud.
Yeah, we react, you see. That's what we're good at, reacting. We don't plan in advance, in front, like the purchasing of masks for the hospital, PPE, they've had to be sent back, or they've made an error because they are fixed around the ears and not round the head, and they're not the correct standard. So yet again, a massive blunder. We're ordering PPE, it's arrived, it's the wrong sort, and we're sending it back.
Yeah, substandard as well. Apparently, some of the stuff that's come in on one of the, it's all rotten.
Quinn's dog could have got the order right. I put asking Quinn's dog to go in for replacing of Boris.
Oh, hello. What's all that?
Let me read here, clone, circa, what have we seen? What's going on here in the chat? The Vampire Slayer, long time no see. Oh, hey. How are we doing? Chin chin.
Oh.
Clones. Alright, I've caught up with that.
Yeah, clones. Trump faking his death. It's all going off. JFK Junior reappearing, it'll be a clone.
I wanted to tell you about a channel as well. I happened to purvey yesterday. It's quite scary, and that's coming from me. I've mentioned it to Kevin before I forget. Now I'm going to put my next link in. Is a channel that's reviewed another channel, and because this channel's got about 100 videos, it pays you well to look at the work this man's done, reviewing and what it's about. It is about a man's house who's got a lot of hauntings going off, and basically he's got a shadow man that comes and that creeps him out, and he's got shadows coming from the wall into jumping underneath the bed, such things that I've never seen in my life. The Lamb House Haunting, Ghosts of Carmel, main YouTube link. So this guy is about 50, bless him, and the things that you'll get to see on this review of his channel. I think it's a 15-minute video. If you research this and have a look, it's incredible. It really is. He's got demons and shadows and ghouly things watching him, and I found it a little bit creepy. It's something different, and there you go. There's one interesting link for the Lamb House Haunting. Enjoy that. Ghosts of Carmel, Maine. If you look for the topic, it's Carmel and Maine. Interesting and scary. Poor man. It is really bad.
Okay.
I'm going through my history and my watch history to put other links in while you're reading the room care.
I'm just... Oh, what's going on here? Right.
There is a nice story that I'm going to... A nice story. It's about plantation and slave owners, but it's a nice...
Oh.
So, forgive me, I'll rephrase that. There's an awful story that's got a nice incentive about it, which makes you learn a lesson. It makes a penny drop moment. That's why it's nice, because you have a little... But it's not till 75% of the way through. You go, oh, I see. So the story is called The Jones Plantation. Some of you may be aware of it already, but in a nutshell, cotton pickers not happy, and they make a deal, and they say that the cotton pickers are no longer slaves and that they're free, and that they have a say in what goes off, and they can choose managers and X, Y, and Z, and they're free to leave. But if they leave, they might be picked up by the dangerous elements outside of the plantation they're not aware of, and made to work on another plantation and owned by somebody else. So better the devil you know. And it's quite it's 15 minutes, but it's quite you do mentalise, you know. It doesn't give you too many pictures, but if you've seen 12 Years a Slave and stuff like that, and you're into your history and your content, you will appreciate that. It's like a gentle Hitchens story, if I may. You know, and if you've not heard of it, it then puts you in. You all know what's going to be said. It's just, you know, it's something different to where we're at. It's not so as intense, and you may be able to use it. You may find it an excellent portrayal of deception and mind control, like I did. There we go. It is beautiful in a way, but sick, because it's to do with real history, you know. And as Black Lives Matter, all lives matter, what we're saying and doing, and others are, it's quite relevant. Enjoy it. And if you can't find a link, search for that topic.
Yeah, I've just copied that link for the one you just put in.
It's amazing. It really is. I've done some work on the Mothman prophecies, the Shadow prophecies, the Russian sleeping project. I've done some MK Ultra, Tavistock, been back to the 70s, the Slender Man and the Connect. There's millions of things. This really is hundreds I've looked at, and this one's scary. It's like, wow, that poor man. The shadow thing in the window, when he walks round, this one question where he gets asked, why don't you stand still and zoom in and do a close up, and he's like, listen, this shit's scary. You don't have It's about whether you're walking around your house and there's a shadow man, demony type thing, whatever it is, he's not sure, and your body just says leg it. There's no standing around and getting the frame right and zooming in for the high def night vision effects. The man's out of there shitting his pants, but sometimes he's overcome the fear. He walks around with his camera at head height, always filming. He's got his lights always on. He refuses to leave there. He's a principled 50-year-old, looks like a decent, honourable, upstanding, but the poor man, one of the clips, he walks into his bedroom and he goes, "You cheeky fuck," or he swears or something, and I'm like, it even made me go, I was like, wow, that's not what you need. And it's always weird stuff in his bedroom, dark shadowy figures and stuff in his bed, and I'm like, you're telling me you're still sleeping? You're seeing this in the day and you're still sleeping? That's some big Barry Barracudas you've got, my man. Oh, you're stubborn. Yeah, honestly, enjoy it, and be prepared for nastiness in a way that's a bit eerie. You know what I mean? It's not grotesque. It's just like aye. Yeah. He's got loads of stuff. There's like keep you going for hours. That will.
JJ, wasn't that Yvette Fielding or something like that? Didn't she do it with that? What was that geezer's name? Liverpool
Ghost hunting or something or whatever.
And he was. I used to make Derek Acora.
Oh, Derek Pecora. Old Pecora.
Oh my God! What a total bell end that is.
That was all fakey. Yeah.
Oh, I'm being possessed.
Listen, that link for Superhuman that's on YouTube, that will make you shudder in all the great ways. You're about to be welcomed in as well. But
yeah, I like a bit of that stuff. Hence the 14 interest.
Kate Lucas, "Hating Your Kid" song. She tries to take her child back to the hospital, and she says she's got the receipt, and she produces a birth certificate to try and refund her baby. So that's the artist. She's a comedian that sings. Kate Lucas. The song is "Hate Your Kid," and then there's also another one called "The Comments." I'd like you to try and look at. That was just chuckle vision, wasn't it? Kev enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's worth. Please go and have a look. If you've not seen that link, go look at it. She's really funny. It's a great song.
I don't know what else there is then, really. We're all good. It's quite calm and chilled, and we're not in a direction of any particular area, so it's just as it is. Hello, just we made it. We're normally too tired, and it was a close call.
Got through another week.
Yeah, amazingly, they are long now, aren't they? They do seem to have suddenly got a bit longer.
Yeah, nights are closing in slowly.
Alias has seen that vid I was talking about, pretty creepy. Yeah, it's in the curtains, a little weird thing, and there's two different shots of it. One of it, it's in the bedroom and it's doing its arms really fast, and the second one, it's in the window still, and he walks in and he says, "Look, it's in the window, you can see it," and then it just skulks out the window to his bed, and it's one of the, like the Ring or the Creep type stuff. If that's real, someone needs to help him, and we need to work out what go on there, and I'm not easily sucked in, but that's just unbelievable.
You go in, I'll wait for the van.
Yeah, I did watch, when I was in my younger time, a lot of the true, based on a true story. I used to find them more, because they're closer to a documentary, but not a little bit of fiction in there as well, but loosely based. Or I used to enjoy those more so than. Been looking in the sky. There's a lot of animosity in the sky at night time.
Animosity in the sky, I like it.
Oh,
Battles going on.
Yeah, I'm not even going to tell you, but just if you're seeing any weird stuff, so am I.
Oh my God.
Weird stuff above.
Last few months, I can honestly say, really, since I saw dickhead, what's his name, Elon Muskie, I saw his Skynet, Starlink, and then I've seen some right weird stuff recently. It's unbelievable how much, if you sit there and watch it, especially out the corner of your eye, and then you'll turn and see something going on. It's just incredible what's going on up there. It's so busy. I wish there wasn't so much light pollution here, but even so, it's pretty impressive. Weird. Lots of weirdness. Things flying along and doing 90 degrees. Not necessarily at super high speeds, but on the scale of it, they're pretty far away, so they're moving pretty fast. But, I don't know. I can only tell you what I've seen. But yeah, particularly the last few months, looking up at the sky, so it's busy. Also, obviously, it's summer, and I tend to go outside to smoke. Don't smoke in the house. So, obviously, this time of year, days like this, quite clear up there. But yeah, it's been some. Yeah, really noticed a lot since the first time I saw Skynet going over. And then, weirdness. I bought myself a really decent tripod, but then P1000, but I must set that up out there. It wouldn't take me 10 minutes to be taking that out there.
Taking your sweet ass time about that, you are, Phillips, yeah.
Dave,
Sweet
all the
ass
time in
time.
the world, mate. So fucking chilled. It's unbelievable.
I've noticed, yeah.
It's manana. No rush for anything. All the time in the world, he said. It does, doesn't it, Alias? It does sound like it is. He is a cheap aftershave. Where's he appeared from? Probably made by Bill Gates in a lab somewhere.
I like the fact you can use his letters name and make Lone Scum.
Scum, absolutely, yeah.
SK, it's not, I think it's SCUM to be fair, but SKUM is, yeah. Lone Smoke we've got from Quinn. Alright then, I didn't see that till I focused. Celine's dropped in. Hello sister, greetings, salutations.
You could also get suck lemon out of it. But you have to spell suck with a K.
Yeah, gotcha. Augmented reality is on its way. He was against AI, then he was all for it, and yes, the technology that we have is astounding. They're just not using it properly. It's all for control mechanisms. Keep your eyes peeled. Yeah, get that tripod out, and that P1000, and then get the videos on channel like, so we can see the joy.
Yeah, Jim, had some great moons just recently as well, and some nice clouds. So I think that's my goal for tomorrow. Attach it to the tripod. I think it's got 2 photographs on it. That P1000.
No comment. No comment.
Too busy fucking writing and documents and talking to people. That's the reality of it. I've got all these things I want to do, but I don't have the time. And by the time I have the time, I don't want to do them because I'm knackered. That's the truth.
Yeah. Occupational hazard for most at the minute. Yeah.
I don't begrudge it. That's just how it is. I'm not bitter about it. I'm not.
Like the Murphys.
That's the fact. I've got loads of things I'd love to do, but the reality is, and I don't want this to sound I don't want to talk about the charity work I do, but I don't. I'm involved in talking to a lot of people and trying to help them. That's where my time goes, really. 50% of that goes just me and Dave having quick chats every day.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, excellent charity. Right?
Stop it now.
You hear me now?
But, so yeah, we got not too many at this moment in time bonus cheats to give you. We've given you an awful lot. Substance.
I mean, you've got the basics for a lot. You've got some advanced stuff there in documents and that are on the .com. Most of that in there, you can turn to anything. You just use the relevant legislation, GDPR, DPA, notice, Section 10, whatever you need to use, scheduling fee, it's all there. You just put it together yourself for any situation, really. There's the stuff up there for the DCAs. If they contact you, that's just okay, no problem, conditional acceptance. Produce these documents as you're required to under XYZ legislation, and we'll give you your money. They generally disappear. So, everything you need's there, really. We're trying to move it on a bit, but for the basics of putting notices and letters and conditional acceptances together, you could bloody bath in the stuff. There's so much of it.
Yeah, we've recovered. I had somebody, I won't say the names, but I had somebody recite to me exclusivo alterius, and the excludes without. We were talking birth, the birth certificate, the interpretations, implied meanings, definitions, and so forth. I've done some posts around leading on from that, but the word birth includes stillborn, and then we've got the proposition about include and includes and how that falls, and you've done well for picking up. I know it's not just this channel. I do remember Romilly and Rohan using it for Queensland, Victoria, Australia, shortly after, and it's been used before. I said it and I found it from somebody, but the fact that you're picking up upon things, intricacies, where Kev said that, and the strength and where we're at, cheat codes and bonus levels, the etymological references, legal, law, Anglo, Babel, UCC, Admiralty, Maritime, Ecclesia, you recognising glossa, dogma, foreign text. Yeah, and then the way that you're now looking at the birth, it includes stillborn, so therefore it excludes the other, so therefore we are learning and looking, and it's great that man's minds and consciousnesses are grasping stuff that some years ago, we didn't really even look at or bother about. It was all fraud, deception, anger, I demand, and I'm not saying that we've weakened the stance, but yeah, it's good where we're at with the flexibility of it all, and the honourability, and the less of the anger, and the help we're getting with inquiries and reports. I know a public inquiry's been denied about the government's handling of COVID, but we're still finding laws and reports and things that are of great use to us as well. So it's not all bad. It's quite good for where we're looking, but on the whole, it's pretty rubbish. Yeah.
Well, it's just ridiculous. A public inquiry, no. Boris has decided we can't have one.
No, yeah. They decided something about school dinners, and a footballer got them to overturn it. Remember that one? You remember what happened there? About benefits and payments and school holidays, and not being, there was a lockdown, and there was questions about hardship and how there should be extra support, and what we should do with dinners, and perhaps give them extra benefit, or families that are but why have we got families that can't feed their offspring? But the point was, a footballer come to the aid of the government and got them to do a U-turn on something which they said point blank whatever. So that's where we're at, remember. So perhaps like I say, Gervais and Clarkson, an emergency call out, an appointment of office to such. That would be so amazing. It really, well, I know it's just fantasy land, but in my head it worked. All right, it worked, and we got out of it, and Clarkson and Gervais took us places. It was a daydream, I admit, but it was a comical one I wanted to share. And the press handling, the PR release was Jonathan Pye. All right. Another hero in the game.
Yeah, Quinn's put a couple of acts and sections in there. It's quite interesting. Nice one, Quinn. I suggest you all go and look up the section,
Is he spamming us again? What's he doing?
and especially
Stop
go and
it.
have a look at the Invisible Act. Very interesting.
Stop it now. It's invisible. You can't look at it. Stop. I'm not even going to go there. What's this? Trickery. The Invisible Act. Get me a
It's
left.
there if you know.
Go on.
If your heart's in the right place, it will be revealed.
This is you. The Nubis.
The Invisible Act there.
I've got some nice Egyptian information. When I say there's a Renaissance, someone listened and went, "There is a Renaissance, Dave. What about this?" I went, "Oh, that's a lot there. There's just a wealth of information. Such things as the feather, the heart, what comes from feather, why he weighs the heart against the feather. The father, your heart cannot weigh heavier than the father's heart. Such things as very intricate wordings and reasonings of Horus, ours, Osiris, like the Immaculate Birth, where the laws of thingy were suspended in the favour of, or was it a Jewish minx telling a tale, etc. Hitchens.
Little Jewish minx told a lie.
Yeah, from Christopher Hitchens' aspect. Well, in Egypt, Isis, Osiris, and the dead, and the underworld, and the lost king, and I'm not going to get into it now. Isis, she became pregnant, and weird stuff. Similar stories of Christianity before. They've got another refix I've seen, and more. It's like a picture or something going from normal res to high res. You know, like the detail has got a little bit more. That's what I mean about Renaissance in Egypt. There's a lot more work been done over the last decade, and it's suddenly surfacing. And those that pay attention and like stuff like that, it will be coming forthwith out of the noon sometime soon.
Just going to say to JJ, yeah, Jonathan Pye. Well, yeah, I tell you, I quite liked him, even though he's lefty. But I lost a huge amount of respect for him just recently when he did the one and he was pushing the masks, and I was so disappointed. So that tells me, but he was entertaining in the lot.
He did say some comical.
He
He
was
weren't all
funny,
bad. Yeah, he weren't.
and he
all bad.
bricked into the government, etc. But as I say, I lost a bit of respect for him recently over the mask one. I'm just like, oh fuck me, sell out, see you later. To be honest, I can't be doing with it. So yeah, a bit of a knob recently, I'll agree. But I say, lots of funny stuff in the past, especially in the election and Brexit and all that. Very entertaining. But yeah, lefty.
Yeah, there's good things and bad things about most, and nobody's perfect. But I do find him. I don't agree, and we don't endorse. You know, it's just well pointed out, well said. Yeah, and the Tune Corporation. Do I know that? Old tune for you. Corporation, one of the real life, brings back some memories. Did you think of that, Kev? Corporation. I'm thinking of
The
Congress.
name, I might know it too.
But yeah, one of real life. I'm thinking of Congress 40 Miles Corporation. I don't know. I'll have a look at that later. Thank you. Music is my life. Our life. It's times of depression and anger, low self-esteem. You put a tune on that's one of your favourites. It can lift you out of that limbo.
Oh, music's the answer.
Kev's addicted to it at the minute now, yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, I've had an absolute terrible stop myself buying all MP3s and flats and stuff, by the way, although I do still buy vinyl. But yes, gone a bit mad just recently, and they're cheap. You know, they're like a quid 50 on a FLAC, something like that. And yes, I've done some pounds. Some promises have been exchanged. Yeah, just couldn't help myself. I bought a new album yesterday. One of my favourite producers brought out, or favourite producers at the moment. But he seems to be turning out some good stuff, and he brought an album out yesterday, so straight on that. It's not bad though. 18 tracks, 9 quid. So that's all safely tucked in the record box. Everything's tucked in the record box. It's getting a bit outrageous in there, really. But yeah, there's some great stuff. I've got not a vast amount of vinyl upstairs. I don't know what's up there. Couldn't tell you. 500, 600. I don't know. Maybe more. Maybe less. Couldn't tell you. But MP3s I'm running at about 8,500 at the moment. And I've got a 200 quid order sitting in JD download.
Oh wow. Yeah, you get that time. Take your time on that.
Yeah, it's a big order. No, I was actually going to email them and go, hey, I'm about to spend that. I want a discount. I was just going to tell them. Otherwise, you can jog on. You're not going to offer me a discount. I'm going to spend that sort of money. You jog on. Or give me a shitload of freebies. That'd be fine. 100 quid's worth. But yes, it's only going to get worse as well, the music thing, people. I warn you now. So at some point there'll be some live mixes up on my channel. Dave might put them up if he deems me good enough. You know what he's like.
I'm like Krishnamurti, me. So I'm like.
Yeah, that record box is a good laugh, people. If you ever get into something, if that's your thing, shit you can do in there, it's just incredible. Other music software programs are available, such as Denon Engine.
It is helpful having the tech and being able to sample and loop and mess around. It's when you can.
I say set it all up prior, so everything's ready when you actually come to play it. All your loops, your memories, cue points, it's all done. It's all been remembered and been sent over with the info of the.
Sent over with the info. It's not an order like a bloody notice or something. I've sent it over an hour ago. It's all ready. It's just like preparing a case, like, isn't it?
It's sending data down a cable, isn't it? It's sending a message. Don't get technical with me. Dot G.
Sending it, yeah, I get it. It's good. It is amazing, actually, what they've done now, and that's what I mean. In some areas, technology is really advanced, but money, the combustion engine, schools, and certain other things, they're archaic and Philistine type tech compared to what we could have. It's an embarrassment, but some areas, it's you just couldn't believe it. You know, cars that park themselves, dare I say it, horses that feed and trot themselves. DJ equipment. There's even a touchscreen 50-inch TV that you just control everything on that. It's got built-in everything, and processor, graphics chip, and you just like use that. You take your, I suppose it's a unit that plugs into the TVs, but TV needs to be a touchscreen like a laptop touchscreen, but it's your plasma screen, and then you touch your jog wheels and your fader with your touch sensitive user interfaces just by that. So that looks a nice bit of kit, but it's incredible. It really is. Some areas the tech has really evolved, and in other areas it's like you can see there's been a arrested development.
Yeah,
what we do.
Yeah, lots of toys out there for us children.
The drones, look at those. When I was little, there was people that had helicopters and they never let anybody use them because they cost so much money, so much time to build, and they were really hard to fly. Now you can buy a Mavic DJI Pro clone for 25 quid, shipped with 3 batteries and a controller from China. And they're not the best, but 20 quid, £100 gets you an excellent. The technology, drone. I'm not. It's probably a bad example, but science and medicine is just way behind the alchemy that we're doing and the areas that we're in, and these channels and scribes and the tech in itself. Some of it's really, the phones that fold, the screens, the graphene. Is it graphite that finding of and what they've done there?
Graphene, isn't it? Is it not?
Graphite, one of them, yeah. And the
Graphite's what goes in pencils.
Buckminster Fullerene of the carbon 60 and the things, the mapping
we're
of
back on that again.
the mapping of the genome, the gene. We've done everything that needs to be done. Really, it's just the tech needs to catch up. We have quantum 5G computers. What go on,
Yeah. Well, somebody's got quantum 5G computers.
Not
the military have miles ahead, mate. Miles ahead of what us as the general plebs have got access to. Even Japan's years ahead of us. They're the feckers.
Sorry, I'm just looking up, scrolling as well, listening and scrolling. But Bronson, I like Bronson because he was Hitler in Indiana Jones film. What's this here? What?
Where's that?
JJ's comment, just quite near the end, like just at the bottom. Alias nowadays corporation, one of the real life, you'll know it. Of one, the real life. All right, of one, all right, the real life. I will know it. Yeah, I will enjoy looking at that later. Babylon had a ceremony to the spirit of the fire, wear masks just like the ones of today worn. Oh, did they now? Is that the name of it? Atlas Corp of one mate. Atlas Corp, what was it? It could well be. Quinn is on it. Atlas Corp. Don't be saying that. That's a bit of synchronicity from something I've been looking at today about corpse. What am I going for? Corpse, yeah. It was sent to me today. What else we doing then? What time is it? 12:30. Yeah, we're just dancing around, look, chatting. It's like a little open midnight cafe we've got going here again.
That's what it is. Oh.
I'm up early. I've got a bit of running around to do with my queen and princess, and then
on a Sunday.
Well, Saturday's the proper day off, and then Sunday. Yeah, a little bit of running around. Going to make some calls, do some bit of admin. I've checked out the venue that's been the location that's been offered down south Devon, Exeter, Cornwall, somewhere that way. It's got King in the name, King Place, King in the area as well. So I thought, oh, these are good omens of such, and it turns out there's a lady with a farm.
Kingshampton.
Yeah, it was something, and it was 4 words, and I was like, wow, that's amazing that it's King something, and I was like, they're all interesting to me. Carry on, and yeah, there's a field lady on a farm, but there's no like amenities, toilet, power, or anything. So yeah, I've said thank you, and we'll consider that. But that's been offered, and then to Stuart.
Let's have a look into possibly what the cost of renting stuff is.
I'm going to say thank you to Stuart.
Delivered and picked up.
Yeah, but it just adds to it. Yeah, it's lovely. Somebody's offered, and we've got the option to, if we could guarantee hot weather and we had tents and certain things, and we could bring vans down with generators, and we could make a go of it. But
that's pretty easy. Yeah.
It could rain, and it could rain.
Yeah.
There's a lot of effort, so I thought I'll look at Liverpool next, and then there's always Birmingham as well, unless anyone else has got somewhere where we could look at. I'll sort that out tomorrow.
Yeah, the other problem, of course, is Devon is very south for a lot of people. Even for me, it's away.
Yeah, it's for me. Normally we go Birmingham or something, but yeah,
Yeah,
Scotland. I would like to go up, still get up to Scotland, Kev, as well, and that's going to be a
another
drive.
one, definitely.
That's going to be a long
Definitely got
drive.
to do Scotland. Got to go and see Q anyway, at least.
Nonna,
It'd be a nice
Q,
one up there, but
Zandy, Nonna, Q, Snafu, and about another 5 more that I can't think of. All scattered around up on the Hebrides Highlands.
fair play. Yeah, that'd be nice. It'd be nice to do 3 a year, wouldn't it? North, mid, and south. To be honest.
Bit of top, middle, and bottom.
Love you two in a bed.
Top, middle, and bottom. So yeah, we can look at wrapping up then, saying the goodbyes. I don't know if there's any more topics or issues. I am quite fatigued. I'm up early, and I'm going to be back with more videos, and I'm going to try and pick up Josh X and some others, and do some Sovereign Star shows, and me and Kevin and somebody can have a chat. I forget who with. Who did we say there? Maybe there's Lyndon, Josh, Keith on the cards, I think, so far to see. And that lady who I did a review of, that was on Sasha Stone, that I rewrote, how she wrote something, that was in prison for 8 years for being, she was innocent. Bibi Bacchus. Yeah, Bibi Bacchus, yeah. That was, I'll try and make inroads and say, wow, that's some horrific miscarriage of wow.
I think I've got a video, of her with Graham and my friend John. 2 of them together. I shall check for it tomorrow.
Never heard of her before, but she just popped out of nowhere. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, John's, I'm sure there's a video where he's actually with her that he sent to me. Some time ago, in fact. I've had it a while, and then she's just come to the forefront. And I've gone, oh yeah, I've got a video with her and John together. So I'll get that over to you tomorrow, mate.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm not joking around with it tonight. Alias is just going, see you, mate. Thanks very much.
We are going.
Bye.
We are going, yeah, we're all getting off, so thank you and good night, bless. Thank you for viewing your viewership. Another ship there, readership and viewership.
Yeah, now you're all tied to Davitt over there. The boatman himself.
Stop it, don't make me bring a dead corpse in the form of Anne Widdecombe out.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, that's another strange conversation, just before we go and ruin it all and add another 20 minutes. Dave happened to mention to me in a conversation earlier, he was comparing some choices, and one of the choices was Sex with Anne Widdecombe. Yeah. Which I was a little, I can't say disturbed, I'm not that easily disturbed, but was an interesting analogy to use in a possible choice of punishments. Sex with Anne Widdecombe. Oh dear.
It was a private chat.
Not anymore. Come on, it was so good I wrote it down on my notepad.
What else did you write down there? Anything else?
Yeah, shopping. Got some Nemo. No, there's nothing else on the pad. You did the Ricky Gervais thing, which I wrote down to remember.
Yeah, nice one. Nice one, Gmo. Yeah, we'll be back. We've got some updates for you. I'm a little bit out of kilter at the minute. I'm doing well, but quite busy. Just need to catch you up tomorrow, and then we'll look at the channel community feed, the .com and Facebook SPL. So you've got 3 different places. Some of you are all 3, some are just on 1. So Like I say, we do look after you all. We don't consider life a game. It's a precious gift. But these mothers that monopolise with the monopoly board and their monocles and their mono and their monotheistic and their monosyllabic. See, this is what you've missed. I should be like this tonight, but I'm different because I've got a lot on my mind, and we carry burdens. I suppose I'll be honest with you. We're not beat, we're not down, but there's pressure. We feel it. There's expectation. There's lots watching and waiting with the hands out. So life, it's not a game, it's real, and maybe this is a testing ground for somewhere future. And if it is, I'm having my hoverboard, let me tell you now, and I'm having some chats with some people about what is right, just, proper, balanced, God, devil, order, life, blood, hearts, continents, monarchies, money. I've got too much to I've got a bone to pick with the higher realm of these lots. Benign and not so benign. So we are playing to win now, because we're forced to, because the desperation, the innovation comes out of desperation. And we have got some bonus levels and cheats, I would suppose, in the discoveries that we've made. So we haven't really given you as much as we normally do, or gone round as the usual. It's been a weird one, but all is good. But I'll be honest, it's a bit different than it was in January, isn't it?
Just a little bit.
It's a bit different, so.
Just a little bit, and there's more issues, for want of a better phrase, to come. Yet we haven't seen the full repercussions of this bullshit lockdown or anything. Let's see where it goes. Don't like it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so we'll continue on with that theme, the bonus, win, cheats, just to play on words ultimately, but value all of your support, input. We don't treat it as a game. It's very serious, as you've seen recently with the, what was it, Rashid and others that we've seen, and the claims, emergency, legislators that have been brought in and what they're writing in and how they think they can perform. Interesting little setup. So each man for himself in a way, each mind, each ment. But I think we should learn of the, like we said, with the technology and what we've got here, how to utilise it. It does mean initially we need some support, and we haven't got all the answers to fix everything, but together, as we're finding out, we are getting a lot more. We just had a recommendation. Hear this. Imagine this. This has just been said on the .com. I'm allowed to say it because it involves a technique. That's all it involves. But it was said to us while we're looking at venues and places to perhaps have a seminar and a meet. Somebody says, "Why don't you collect those vouchers out of a newspaper for a tenner?" And we all meet up at a Haven or a Butlin somewhere, and then end up where I went. You know what? That's what happens when you get your minds together. That says Kevin. I said we'd never have thought of that one. That's a nice little technique, isn't it?
£9.50 vouchers or something. Not a bad idea, is it? At least you got a bed and a roof over your head, regardless of weather. So, yeah, not a bad idea at all. Never thought of that. As an alternative to trying to fit in a field somewhere and getting facilities and stuff. So it's a bit different at Oxford because there was stuff already there, because they do that, well, at least annually. So different thing.
The Hog Show. Oh yes, it's all the rave. He's had royalty there. He's well connected. Royalty watching sheep racing around a field. That's what type of time how they spend the time. Not having a go at the Hog Show, but royalty. The prince there. Madness, but together is the key. Unified, if I could say that. It helps. So I'll just apologise in some ways for not bestowing as many gems and whatever nuggets and bits and bobs and whatever as we are. It's an accumulation, I'm afraid, of heat, pressure, stress, uncertainty, low self-esteem, high activity, high demand, and then balancing, I suppose. Which one of you can tell us what's happening in the next 6 months? None of us can say that. The fact that we can't pull together, the fact we can't work together, nation states, governments, man, free man, constitutionalists, literalists, Christians, whoever it is, for the greater good. I suppose I'm a little bit dismayed. I really go out there sometimes and speak my truth, and it's good. There has been feedback, and we have got positivity, but there's a sense of urgency in the air, if I may say. And I suppose we, above the seers, we're not seers of the future, but we see possibilities is all we see. More possibilities than others see, I suppose. And when we look and we see stormy times and we look back at the fam, and they're all, like Exodus in, but they haven't got all the gear, and they're a bit like, weak, and they're not quite well fed, and we haven't got the amenities, and if a big storm comes, it might blow us all away. That's what I'm thinking at the back of my mind. So I'd like to try and, what would I say? We need some kind of, what did they have in the war? They had this thing called a home guard, emergency backup, where everyday common law man, not so much, but in a nutshell, backed up the security of, and that was all good and it worked well. So an equivalent of the old guard, the new old Cthulhu. Yeah, the new old guard. Let's go for it. The new, in the theme of the old ones, the new old home guard. I keep trying to push certain things, and it's simply done. It's low cost and it's effective. It just means that let me say this: freedom lies in every one of your hearts. But the time for freedom to lie in your heart is not enough, and it's up. And freedom needs to get out your hearts and actually fight for itself now in some way. It lies in all of every man's hearts, I believe this. The time for it lying there is over. Freedom, please get up out of the man's hearts and actually fight to be in the heart, because soon I think you'll be in a chip, and that chip will be connected to Super Ed 209, who will be connected to, and it's our bloodline in the future. We've pretty much got halfway through. I don't expect
You'll be off to Skynet. There's food.
Yeah,
Build
so
the robots.
that's all I'll say. It's we do see we're not too happy about everything, and we haven't got all of the answers. We are testing new ground. We're pioneering in some ways. The King's College, Royal College, hospitals, churches, institutions have hoodwinked us, and we're playing catch up with about, let me think, 6,000 years of political science and religious inconsistencies and Catholic narrative. We're catching up on a scientific level. We're catching up with a language in history so on many massive
Bloody
levels.
Catholics.
We're playing catch up, yeah, and we're also, whilst playing catch up and assimilating and looking at the bomb places of which they've eradicated the evidence from, and looking and getting what we can. We're actually having to assimilate that new knowledge and use it on the fly and correct past things. So it's like I say, it's an interesting, fast time. Singularities coming to points and gossip and rumours, but together, I believe we could do a great many things. But
Whatever's coming's coming.
yeah,
Not a lot you can do about it. Just try and protect yourself. Don't get stressed out about it.
many hands make light work. Bottom line.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying. I'll type in much love and thank you, and then we'll go then, Kel.
Right. Thanks, everybody. Much love to you all. Thanks for joining us. See you soon. Probably next Saturday, as is the norm-ish. Have a good week. Much love to each and every one of you.
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah.
Much love.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night. Bless.